Joan, recently you urged a crowd in England not to cooperate in the military draft. Doesn't this sort of border on sedition according to our own laws?
I think laws are made by human beings, and if they're no good, then human beings have to remake them, no matter what, you call it. I don't think the draft should be cooperated with.
Well, saying that, don't you realize that you're risking a jail sentence?
Yeah, but I mean, if you really care about something, you have to risk a lot of things, I think.
You have been withholding part of your income from the income tax because you oppose its use for military purposes, is that right?
That's right, 60%. That's a terrible amount of money to go to military use, I think. If somehow I believe that the armaments were going to do somebody some good, then it would be harder for me to make a decision, but they're so impractical and useless. And all I could possibly do is blow everybody up. So, aside from the fact that morally I don't think they're any good.
Is the government able to confiscate that sum, or are you still withholding it?
I keep withholding it, and the only difference I can say is I refuse to volunteer it. I won't pay it. If they want it, they'll have to come and take it and find me and so forth. And they've done that for 2 years. They did it this year, contrary to some rumors that were out. But they sort of have the power to do whatever they want, and they just come to the bank and take it.
There have been reports that you are operating a school for pacifists in your home. Where is it, up in El Monte?
No, in Carmel Valley, I now own a school. And I bought a separate building, and we have what we call Institute for the Study of Nonviolence. And it is for me to try to find out a better way to maybe live and help other people live, and in the process, we have 15 people at a time. And it's really just a learning process for everybody who's there. And I have one man, Ira Sandpearl, who does most of the teaching and leading the seminars.
In this country, of course, we feel that communism is one of the major threats to our way of life, and that is one reason why we are in Vietnam, to stop communism way over there and keep it from spreading around the world and to these shores. Don't you share this opinion?
No, I think the boogeyman is not communism or any ism. I think it's hatred. And if we can do all the things that the communists do, for instance, we run a dictatorship in Vietnam ourselves and will not allow a free election. If we can do that, then how can we say, that the communists are that terrible, and if the communists take over, that's, and so it couldn't really get any worse than it is, and we're doing everything the communists are doing. And I just don't think that the communists are the big threat. I mean, obviously to the Russians, we are the big threat, and we change enemies periodically, so I don't think that the communism is the terrible thing to fear.
Well, how would you hope to solve this dilemma?
The Vietnam dilemma, or
the general dilemma of our Cold War?
Well, I think that if you believe that man can change, then there's hope. If a lot of people sort of, you can't change human nature, and there've always been wars, so there'll always be wars, and so forth. And if you think that, then I really think you might as well just give up and drop dead, because we will blow ourselves up. But I think that there's a faintest chance of people cooperating with each other if you can put aside things like hating this country or hating that country or hating this person. Only if there is a real brotherhood of all people, in the whole world, I think, is there any possibility of us surviving for a while.
Joan, there have been some demands that these public demonstrations against our policy in Vietnam border on the treasonable, if not actually being treasonable.
Well, what is treasonable? I mean, I think killing people is treasonable. And I think I have as much a right to judge what I think is terrible as any other person who ever made laws. And I think laws were made, if laws are no good anymore, then you've got to change them. We're the only people who can change them. If I really think they're lousy international laws or national laws, then I've got to do my best to make them better.